Hi there. Well, now that fall's upon us, we're faced with cleaning up and preparing our garden for the winter. And depending on where you are in the country, excuse me, fighting a little bout of allergies here. There's different things to do, but for the most part, there's just a couple basic steps. Once you've cleaned out the bed from the year's growth, what I like to do is find some compost from the compost pile you've hopefully been saving and working on all year, and just throw some compost on all your beds. I won't make you go through watching all of this, but just fill the beds with a lot of good compost. That'll really work its way in over the winter and really help you out come springtime. Just keep layering it on. And once you layer it on, I got to get some more for this bed. Just get yourself your garden fork. Hopefully you've got one. It's sort of like a pitchfork, but it's nice. It's got some real heavy-duty tines, and you can spread all that good compost around on your bed. Don't need to dig it in too heavy yet. Careful so you don't break, like I just did, one of your irrigation lines, but just spread it out. Next, we're going to open and we're going to spread hay all over it to keep it nice and mulched throughout the winter. Now we're going to go to our hay pile, and I like hay better than straw. It's a little easier to work with, and it comes with plain old cord rather than wire generally. Take off some hay. If it falls, that's fine, because we're going to spread it on the ground anyway. Take the hay over to our little planter. Take the hay that we just got and just spread it out all over your garden bed, giving it a nice heavy coat for the winter. This will not only protect, let's say you've got garlic or your lines that you've got there, but it protects anything that you've got started to come for the next season. Flower bulbs, garlic starts, any of the above. The hay will start to decompose throughout the winter, and by springtime it'll be the start of a nice mulch for you for next year. Gonna grab some more here and just spread this out over your entire bed. It really makes a difference. It also protects your drip hose, but I may have said that already. Just break it apart and let it protect that bed. Next, we're going to do the floor of the garden itself. Keep any weed seeds, things like that, just sort of covered. I just like keeping the whole floor of the garden covered. As you can tell over in this corner, we're getting a rather light coating on the ground, which just means it's just in time for us to spread a good coating of hay. Straw is fine. It's actually preferred by some people. I just find the hay is a lot easier to work with, and I prefer it. It's got a nicer smell to me, but that's just personal preference. Grab your hay, straw, have fun. If you got kids, this is a perfect time. They get to throw things around and not have to pick it up. And another thing, if you still got any, you see I haven't gotten to my bean vines yet. If you got any pea vines, bee vines, it's a good time to take them out of here too. Get them into the compost pile. And as you can see, they wind themselves up pretty good. I usually just cut this off and put it in the pile, and by spring I can pull the thread out and do it separately. It's one reason I like to use these little racks like this. As you can see, it's just a simple little piece of electric PVC pipe that then is slid down over the tip of a little rod, simply driven in the ground. It makes a great trellis. All of our beans, I got to make them taller next year. Case in point. And finally, it's time to take care of our drip irrigation system that's been doing so nice for us all year. It doesn't hurt it in mild places like here, but if you're in a winter area, and even here it's not bad, take off the major pieces. The timer comes right off eventually. Your filter and your pressure regulator, and bring them in the garage for the winter. At that point in time, then you're going to want to elevate your hose and make sure your upper end is open. And we take the cap off like that and just let the water drain out, as you see. And after a day or so, come back in and put the cap back on, or put something over the end so the bugs don't get into it. And that makes for a nice all winter long drain or drip irrigation that you're free to leave outside. As you can see, we've even still got some greens that are still working for us, even out here on their own. Of course, Texas, we're only recently starting to get cool nights, so they're starting to really enjoy themselves, which is sort of about time, because they've been struggling all winter with the heat we have here. But at least now we have greens. Another tip for your garden, especially if you got raised beds or anything like that, is run a little stake of steel reinforcement rod from the big box stores on the corners, and put just a little length of white PVC over the edge. As you're pulling hoses around or bumping around, they won't get caught on it or wear anything out or pull anything. So I like to keep these on the corners of most of my raised beds, just to protect me from myself, basically. Okay, I hope some of those tips are a help to you. Being down here where it's warmer, we're zone 8B, bordering on 9. Sometimes I forget that some of you folk are still up where it's freezing. Some have had snow already. I've gotten messages of several folks that have had snow on the ground. And on the other side, we've got friends in Iowa that are having about the same weather we had, so you never really know what to expect. But one thing's for certain, if you're up in the north, you know that snow and freezing weather will eventually come. So whether you're down here in southern parts of the states and don't plan on gardening, put it to sleep for the winter. If you are, we'll have some tips later how you can put a little row cover up and keep your greens and veggies going all winter long. You may have seen a few little hints of it there. I wanted to cover it all up here today just to show you what's going on, because some of you up north I know don't have as much time as we do down here. Our winter is generally about 3 weeks in January, but other than that, it's pretty nice. I've got Satsuma mandarins up on the patio in containers that are starting to get ready. This is an exciting year, for part of the time of the year for me. Spring is really a great time for all of us to start getting excited, getting our hands in the dirt and get things planted. But fall's another great time, because now you can put the thing to bed, spend some time in the house going through some good books, planning next year's garden, figure out what varieties you're going to try that you didn't get a chance to try this year, or maybe some that you did try just didn't work out and you want to try something else. Now's the time to figure that out. And throughout this winter, I'll be going through my books and showing you the books that have worked well for me. I'm a bookworm. I got quite a few shelves of books, and I'll be going through and show you some scenes from them, give you some details of some of them that I think may help you get going on your garden next year. Until next time, see you, and thanks for stopping by. Please comment, let me know if there's anything I can answer for you, and show you what we're doing down here in our part of Texas. Thanks a lot. See you later.